How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Blackrock just bought more Bitcoin. They bought it in a new portfolio, which is significant. I mean, we look at the inflows and outflows all the time. That is coming through Blackrock, through Fidelity, but oftentimes it's coming from hedge funds. It's coming from individuals. This is actually BlackRock making a strategic allocation within other funds. They are the ones that are deciding to buy Bitcoin this way. So I want to go through that. I also want to play a new video that came out from BlackRock here today, talking about Bitcoin, talking about where Bitcoin is and how it all works together. And we have a very cool way of saving some money. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one. There's also going to be a link underneath the video to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrency using leverage. There's also going to be a airdrop hamster up to $5 million that you can get an airdrop. All you have to do is click on the link underneath the video, hit join now, and you can start trading. And there's something similar over on CoinW. So you can trade futures and you can trade spot over on CoinW, which is awesome. And they're also doing a big airdrop as well with jungle tokens. So you can get a few $1,000s for free in jungle tokens, just dependent on how much you trade. Like, do you trade $1 million of volume? Do you trade $10,000 of volume? Do you trade 100 million? It's going to be all different for how much you get in this airdrop. Now, last little thing. I did a long style interview, 37 minutes, talking to a Bitcoin first insurance company. So they're paying out in Bitcoin. They're taking premiums in Bitcoin. They are focused on Bitcoin. They put their balance sheet in Bitcoin. I'm going to put a link to the company underneath the video, meanwhile, in case you want to make a connection with them, in case you want to connect with them and talk to one of their representatives. And I'll also put a link to the video on the end screen so that you can watch that video if you haven't seen it already. They're a cool company. Of course, always do your own research. Breaking. BlackRock bought Bitcoin for their global allocation fund, according to this SEC filing. Now, this is the third internal BlackRock fund that has bought Bitcoin through the IBIT Bitcoin ETF. So they have the Strategic Global Bond Fund, Strategic Income Opportunities Fund, the Global Allocation Fund. A lot of globals, a lot of strategery there. But basically, they're adding to some well-rounded portfolios this allocation to Bitcoin. Now, is it the largest possible allocation they can put towards Bitcoin? No, it's not. I believe they bought about 40,000 shares, which let's say it's $40 or $50, doesn't really matter. I mean, we're talking about a couple $1 million position. And what's this mean? They're getting IBIT into these funds, and then they'll most likely dollar cost average over time. And another reason why this is kind of a big deal is, as we know, there have been billions and billions of dollars worth of IBIT that has been bought, but that's not really by BlackRock. Like I said, that's from hedge funds, that's from individual investors. This is BlackRock really giving their stamp of approval, saying, hey, we want this in our funds. We think this will help our funds perform better. This will help us reduce risk or spread out risk. This is going to be good for us. And I've gone through in previous videos why this is such a sexy way of investing for them, why they want to put this in funds just like these, because it juices up the returns. Also, all of these funds have fees. They all have 0.5% to a full percent fee somewhere in there. And if Bitcoin causes their AUM to increase, well, then they can charge more fees on that overall higher fee fund. And then they also get the fees on the Bitcoin IBIT ETF. So they can kind of double dip in fees. And let's take a look at some of these funds because they are large. This is the first fund, the one that they just said that they bought via an SEC filing. $17.4 billion in funds. So, I mean, imagine they do a 1% allocation. They're buying $170 million worth of Bitcoin. Okay, 1% allocation. This is the next fund. This one's smaller. This is the bond fund, $791 million. But take a look at this next one, $37.7 billion. Wow. Okay, so they have $55 billion worth of funds. And all they have to do, let's say they put a 1% allocation towards Bitcoin. That's a $550 million buy. That's significant. Now, is that going to cause Bitcoin to go to 100K right away? No, not necessarily, just from those buys. But this is only a small percentage of their overall AUM. Keep in mind, these three funds together equate to about 0.5% of their total AUM. So imagine when they start putting in other portfolios, when they start putting larger allocations, when people get wind of the fact that BlackRock's buying more and more Bitcoin, well, it will most likely send up the price pretty quickly. Now, on the other hand, of course, they could just add a little bit, not really add any significant allocations, and that would be the more bearish scenario, right? They just add it to a couple portfolios and then never really make it a large portion of the portfolio. I personally think that they're quite bullish, and we had someone from BlackRock just talk about what they're going to do and what they think about Bitcoin right now. But first, I want to talk about something that you can actually save some money on. If you didn't know, people spend a lot of money on their cell phone plans, and Helium Mobile is a good way of saving a significant amount on that. So today's show sponsor, Helium. A couple months ago, Helium Mobile reached out to me, and they wanted me to try out their product. They have a $20 unlimited data and mobile plan. I've tried it out, and I've been blown away because it is extremely cheap and it has good coverage. Now, with the link underneath the video, you can actually get a free month. So you can literally just have your own carrier. You don't have to switch anything over. Just try it for 1 month free. It's basically like an IQ test. Try it for 1 month for free. And if you like it, you can just sign up for $20 a month. It's super easy. And they are a partner of the channel. They're a sponsor because I really like them. They also have something called discovery mapping. You can actually allow them to see where your location is, and you get rewarded for doing so. You can actually use these rewards to go pay for the subscription plan. Now, why are they asking where your location is? Well, they have hotspots in very busy locations, and this provides coverage. And then where their hotspots aren't located or they don't have coverage, they actually have a partnership with the largest 5G carrier in the world. So there's a link to actually the indoor hotspot too. If you want to provide this, you can, or if you want to go buy this, you can actually get rewarded in tokens as well. They have an outdoor hotspot as well. And they have a map. They actually give boosted location. So what they do is if they found that there's a lot of people using their network in one specific location, but they don't have a lot of hotspots set up, they might boost the location. For example, Miami, there are all these purple boosted locations where you can actually get extra rewards. Also in New York, there are a lot of planned boost locations as well. So if you want, I'll leave links to all this underneath the video. You can check them out. I've had a lot of people that have signed up for this unlimited plan and been very happy with it. Again, it's unlimited for just $20 a month, and you get your first month for free. So you can try it out. If you don't like it for some reason, you can always cancel. Okay, so I want to play this clip. This is Jay Jacobs, who is the head of thematic and active ETFs at BlackRock. Okay, so he is way up there at BlackRock. He's talking to someone here. Let me turn this down a little bit. Jay Jacobs, U.S. head of thematic and active ETFs at BlackRock, and he is talking to someone, Samara Cohen, who's the Chief Investment Officer of ETF and Index Investments at BlackRock. So a little BlackRock on BlackRock conversation here, talking about the Bitcoin ETFs. It's a little bit cringy. It seems very censored, but let me play this for you. They go into everything digital assets, including IBIT, Bitcoin, ETBs. Since IBIT's launch, we've seen strong interest from both new and long-time digital asset investors. The key theme, convenience. Okay, let me play this for you.
So great to catch up. It feels like every time we're talking these days, it's a conversation about digital assets. I'm not complaining though. It's an exciting time.
I totally agree because so much has been happening, whether it's developments in liquidity provision or infrastructure in the ecosystem or public policy. There has been a huge amount happening in digital assets, of course, leading to the launch of Bitcoin ETFs. So Jay, since we launched IBIT this year, what are you and the team hearing from investors?
We've been having great dialogues with investors, from everyone who's new to the digital asset space to those who have been investing in it for a long time. I think the commonality in these conversations is just how convenient Bitcoin ETFs are in bringing access to the space. I'm interested to hear your view of the markets. How is investor participation changing in the space?
So to your point, Jay, access has been the real game changer with ETFs coming into the Bitcoin space, because now investors can access Bitcoin same way they could buy stocks and bonds through a conversation with their advisors or in their online brokerage platform. And so now they can buy Bitcoin in that way with that ETF setup and look at it in their whole portfolios and think about portfolio construction. And that's why I've been so interested in hearing from you on how investors should be thinking about the role of Bitcoin in their portfolios.
I think this is one of the most important questions for investors that are considering digital assets. The reality is, as you know, Bitcoin is a nascent asset. It's only 1/10 of the size of the gold market, and therefore it has high volatility and behaves a bit differently than stocks and bonds. A lot of investors look at it as a potential hedge against geopolitical and monetary risks. Other investors look at it as a way to play future adoption of blockchain technology. In either case, it's important that investors take a measured approach to Bitcoin, considering both the risks and the potential returns of the asset.
So that makes tons of sense to me. And actually, because they can now access Bitcoin through an ETF, it actually makes it easier to take that measured approach because they can see their whole portfolio and look at risk return scenarios with Bitcoin as a part of it.
Exactly.
This has been awesome to talk to you, Jay.
This has been great, Samara. Thank you for the quick download. We have so much more to catch up on.
Okay, so they're giving more and more attention to Bitcoin. They're paying more and more attention to Bitcoin. Nothing groundbreaking in that video, but hey, they're posting it and they're spending time on it. They think it's important, so I think we should pay attention to it. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know where you think Bitcoin's going. Debate tonight. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Check out the links underneath. Bye.